Jason Willard, North Little Rock, Arkansas, says, hello, Dutch and James, huge fan. I want to ask about a party I have heard referenced in interviews where Bruiser Brody and Jose Gonzalez attended the same party 2 nights prior to Brody's death with no issues. Can Dutch please confirm if there was ever a party and if parties for the talent were usual during the territory days? Thanks in advance.
In Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
No. Parties were not usual for anybody down there. You could have one if you wanted to, but guys that would come in, they wouldn't be parties. You may go to a bar or something like that, but that wasn't on a regular basis anyway. And did Bruiser Brody attend a party 2 nights prior to his death in San Juan? No. I don't remember him attending any parties at all. Actually, Bruiser Brody wasn't much of a party guy anyway. He would land wherever his flight was from. He would land in Puerto Rico. Somebody would pick him up, take him to his hotel or where he was spending the next 2 or 3 days. And then he would leave to eat, maybe leave to work out. But as far as leaving to have a party, never heard of anything like that. I've never attended a party in Puerto Rico for the talent. You know why? They didn't have them. It cost money to put on a party. You'd have to buy liquor or something. They wasn't even doing that. So, and I don't know where he got that information, but from me knowing what I know, no, it wasn't. They didn't have any kind of a party. Now, what I have heard was that Bruiser Brody rode with Invader 1. He rode with him the first night he was there. He rode to the town. And whether that had something to do with what happened on night 2, I have no idea. And I've never confirmed that he rode with him to the town. It was like an hour-and-a-half trip. You know, I couldn't tell you. And Invader wore a mask, so nobody would know it was him and Brody in the car anyway. But that could have had something to do with it. And I have rewritten a story, which will be in my next book. And after he died in 1987, I think, was
88,
it?
88, I think.
88?
Mm-hmm.
And since that time, I've had 30 some odd years to think about it. And my viewpoint now is, I think he went into that room highly intending to kill Bruiser Brody, which is what he did. So, and if you had come into that as a policeman and you're trying to piece it together, you have one locker room here with some guys in it, and then the shower room, you had to go through a door, then a door to the shower. And they were in the shower and you heard some beating and boom and whatever, but you never saw what really happened in there. And only 2 guys know what happened in there, and one of them is dead. So we never would know, but I do know that when I walked by him when I was coming in, he had a little thing he was sharpening a knife on. And he walked into the room, and I've said this on every deposition I've ever taken. He went up to Brody, and I had walked outside by that time because I felt like severe, I felt tension in the room. So I walked outside, and I was going to stay in the dugout till a little more time and then I went to the dugout, stayed out there maybe 5 minutes, no more than 7 minutes, but a short amount of time. And then it said, I need to go. And I went back down to the dugout to the tunnel. And I got closer to the dressing room and I heard a bunch of noise, like a bunch of guys talking kind of loudly. And then when I walked in, I asked one of the young bloods, I said, what happened? He said, Jose stabbed Brody. I said, what? Jose stabbed Brody. Well, it still didn't register that Jose was the Invader one. Everybody in Puerto Rico was called Jose. Now, he could have been Jose, whatever. And that didn't make any sense to me till I went in and I saw Brody laying on the floor with the doctor over him. And the only blood I saw was, it was maybe here or it might have been the other side. But he had been stabbed in the chest and he was bleeding quite a bit, but not on the outside. He's bleeding inside. And he laid on that floor for 45 minutes till they could get an ambulance there because a lot of people were trying to get into the matches. And if you read the story, you know exactly. And the ambulance was late getting there, and then he died. That was about probably around 8 o'clock. Mm. And then by the time the ambulance got there, and I received news the next morning I got up about 5 o'clock because I couldn't sleep. And I got up and I asked the lady at the desk, because I had told her when I come in, any calls to Brody's room, send them through to me. I was in another room. And I didn't have any calls come through. And finally, when I went down there, the young girl, she's about 20, 21, and she was crying. And I went, what the hell happened? She says, your friend, Brody, he died. I went, what the? And then it was really early in the morning, but I go out on the streets because I don't have nobody to call. And then I think I saw Buddy Landale coming down the street. He couldn't sleep either. And he told me he heard the same thing, that Brody had died. So whether that don't have nothing to do with nothing, but this new story I'm coming out with, I think I figured it out that he fully intended to kill Bruiser Brody. Why? Nobody knows. Nobody still knows. But what was the first question? That he had attended a party? He did not attend a party.